Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I'm in the Conservation and Research team at the Trust, and today I'm just going to do a little video on some of the common species of plant. Just a few species that you might be able to spot while you're out and about. Something I spend quite a lot of time doing is identifying wildflowers, identifying trees, trying to improve my botany knowledge. And spring going into summer is obviously a great time of year to do this. The leaves are coming out, lots of flowers are out, and there's lots of bright conspicuous species for you to look for. So yeah, we're out and about just outside Andover, just to see what things we can find. One of my favourites at the moment, looking lovely around all of Andover because our verge is happily not being mown quite so much, is this oxeye daisy. So different to your garden variety daisy, although in the same family. In fact, lots of flowers in the daisy family, the humble dandelion, knapweed, thistles, all in the daisy family. But keep an eye out for this one around town. Really distinctive, pretty unmistakable. It's a giant daisy, quite long stalks. Actually, fun fact for you, what we would call a flower is actually what's called a composite flower. So each of these little yellow bits is called a floret, and it's surrounded by these white ray florets. So it's called a composite flower head. I'm very lucky in that in my career I've been able to spend quite a lot of time in different countries exploring a lot of different wild places. I've spent quite a bit of time in Africa, Tanzania and South Africa. It's something that I think has really given me a real taste for just wanting to know about places and wanting to know about the wildlife in different areas. But there's a lot to be said for your local patch. There's a lot to be said for your local area and spending time in nature in your local area. So this is a really important part of the job for me. I'm really passionate about wildlife, I'm really passionate about nature, and I think we underappreciate how important nature is for your well-being. So every chance I get, I'm out looking for new species, seeing if I can spot something I haven't seen before, and just trying to keep my knowledge up. Now, especially with botany, this is quite a challenge. This is a lovely tree, or small tree, to spot at this time of year, and you can smell it as you approach it. It's an elder, and we call these elder flowers. Distinctive white sprays of flowers there. Each of those small flowers has 5 white petals, and you can also tell by the leaves. So this whole thing is a leaf, and these smaller pieces, these are the leaflets, and it's called a pinnately compound leaf. So 5 to 7 leaflets usually on elder. Elders are usually found on the edges of fields, on the edges of woodland. Usually where they're blooming, they'll be in a sunny spot, and the flowers are coming out now so May to July. So this is a good time to get out and forage for your elderflowers to make elderflower cordial. And they say that if you plant an elder close to your house, it keeps away evil spirits. Just a quick explanation of leaves, just a really simple explanation of leaves and leaflets. This is a leaf, this is one leaf, and this, we would refer to this as a simple leaf. And you can tell that it's a leaf rather than a leaflet by these bits at the base, which are called stipules. So there's usually some sort of residual leaf at the base of each leaf. And then if we compare to a compound leaf, it's probably not the best demo being how spiky this is because it's a bramble. So this is a whole leaf with 5 leaflets, and you would call this a compound leaf, and you can see the stipule there at the base. So you know that that is a whole leaf with 5 leaflets, similar to the elder. This is one of my favourite places to walk nearby. It's really just a stone's throw from Andover. Lovely countryside. And also because over here in this field, a few days ago we spotted a vixen fox with her cubs, which is lovely. Just over there by the far fence line, playing in the evening. It's really just fantastic, the amount of wildlife that's just on your doorstep without you even realising it some of the time. We all know these stinging nettles. Something very similar is a white dead nettle. Superficially very similar to a nettle, but actually, like all other dead nettles, it doesn't sting. It has these lovely white flowers at this time of year, found on verges, edges of paths, often on roadside verges, and often next to stinging nettles. And while we're talking about nettles and stinging nettles, this here is that traditional method for helping when you get stung, a dock leaf. So my mum would always tell me, if you fell in the stinging nettles, to hopefully find some dock leaves nearby. There would always be dock leaves nearby apparently, and if you rub that on the sting then it makes it feel better. Not sure how well it worked. So this one that you find often amongst nettles in overgrown areas is called cleavers or goosegrass. You can see the tiny white flowers, rings of leaves around the stem. This is quite distinctive because it's very sticky. It's also called sticky weed, is a nickname. It actually has hooks along the stem and leaves, so this helps it to bind and grow up, hold on. So it's a creeper. And if I just take a tiny bit, it's also really important for seed dispersal because it sticks to animals and me. So that's goose grass. Used to have a lot of fun with this when I was little, sticking it to my dad's back, which obviously he thought was hilarious. Cleavers. You can see how it's sticking to this other tree here. This blue flower you'll probably see out and about. It's actually called green alkanet. It's fairly similar to a forget-me-not, a bit bigger. You can see the flowers have 5 petals, 5 blue petals. It's really loved by the bees, and you'll find it roadside verges, borders, edge of woodland. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm heading back now. Hopefully it's given you a few more things to look for when you're out and about. It'd be really great if you could share those if you find the ones that we've been looking at, or if there's others that you always see out on your walks or out and about in the countryside. Share photos in the comments. Thank you.